Hello guys, Robot1 here, coming to you with another video of Yu-Gi-Oh! Good or Bad. Now, it seems lately Konami are giving us cards that can be defined as good and defined as bad. And this card we're talking about today is another one of those cards that, in my opinion, have good points and bad points. It's really a 50-50 in my opinion. Like, the community seems that to think that it's a very, very good card, but in my opinion it has its ups and downs in ways, because it can be considered a very good card, but it can also be a very off-the-top card. But before we get into that, what is Yu-Gi-Oh! Good or Bad? Well, Yu-Gi-Oh! Good or Bad is a segment on my channel where I talk about cards that I think are good but are also bad, and they have 50-50 options where they keep swapping over to the sides. Cards such as Someone Scolding can be really good or bad. Cards such as Path of Desires can be good or bad. Like, this segment is really just to talk about those cards. So, what card are we talking about today? Well, today we're talking about a trap card. And this trap card was announced a few days back, and it is Network Trap Hole. Now, Network Trap Hole is a normal trap card. Its effect is, when your opponent special summons a monster from their deck or graveyard, you banish that monster face down. Now, why does this card seem to have bad points? Well, this card, yes, it can be a very good card in situations. It really, really can be a very good card in certain situations. But the card itself, it's not as good as I would want it to be. Personally, I think it's missing a bit of text where it would need to say extra deck or graveyard, or extra deck, for it to be a very good card. But let's get into the point of why I think this card is somewhat good but also somewhat bad. We'll start off with the good points, I think, just because that's a good place to start off, and then we'll move on to the bad points to, you know, give the reasons why it's bad. So, why is this card good? Well, for starters, the most important part of it is that it banishes face down. The new Trap Hole Network Trap Hole banishes cards face down, and we all know banishing face down is very, very powerful, seeing as if you banish a card face down, the only way that your opponent is going to be able to get that card back is through some sort of means such as Omega. Now, looking at it from a perspective like that, the card is very, very good, seeing as it is just able to take any monster special summon from the deck or graveyard and banish it face down instantly. Now, that is a very good effect. It really is, just because the fact that taking a card out of the game pretty much means that it's permanently banished unless they have Omega, and it will help go through the plays a lot easier. That's just really the first point, just because it can banish fake cards face down, why the card can be realized as a very good card. The next good reason is that it takes care of monsters summoned from the deck and graveyard. Now, what do we know that can summon from the graveyard to start off with? Well, we know Soul Charge summons from the graveyard. Your opponent summons 5 from the graveyard. You're banishing all 5 of those monsters face down, and your opponent is taking 5,000 life points. What else? Stargrails, they can banish a special summon from the graveyard, so they special summon for anything from the graveyard. You can activate this Trap Hole and banish that card face down. And what else could we think that even Pendulum Magicians can somewhat summon from the graveyard, being able to utilize Black Fang to, when they summon from the graveyard, you could use this, interrupt their combo by banishing the card face down. Like, the card has uses outside of that, but what decks does it affect outside of that with its from deck effect? Well, as I said, it affects magicians still. It can affect magicians through their Harmonizing Magician. Any monster they summon off the Harmonizing Magician will be able to banish face down. So, if they summon a Black Fang, you can banish face down. If they summon an Iris Magician, you can banish face down. If they summon a If they summon a White Wing, a Purple Poison, Wizard Knight, anything, any monster they summon with that card is going to be banished face down. That's a good thing. What else can it sort out with? Double Helix, Spirals. If your opponent attempts to summon from the deck, you can, such as a Master Plan with Double Helix, you can banish that Double Master Plan face down. That card is instantly removed from the game. So dealing with that card instantaneously. So that's one way to deal with the card. Just getting rid of it instantly. You can also affect their 1-for-1 plays. Oh, they summoned the quick fix of 1-for-1. You can flip this Trap Hole card. What quick fix is now banished from the game for good, which is very good in my opinion. Enough more decks that you could possibly hit. I'm just trying to think now. God, guys, you can tell that I'm doing this on the spot, can't you? But yeah, there are all sorts of decks. Samurais. 6 Samurais with their Fuma, or against True Dracos with their the True Kings, with the Water True King. You can banish any of the monsters face down, like that are summoned from the deck, even from the babies of the dinosaurs. They summon something from the deck, you banish that face down. There are many different ways to utilize this Trap card, just because of it has the ability to banish face down monsters, especially someone from the graveyard or deck, and that is good points to the card. Like it can interfere with your opponent. Now that's the good ways that we said so far. It banishes face down. It can interrupt multiple decks, and oh, it can even banish face down from the Stargrails as well with the Legacy Chalice, which is a very good card to hit in my opinion. Just to be able to get rid of 2 monsters that there's something out, which will probably be a Guard Dragon, which you want to banish anyway, and a Lee. But there's more that you could potentially do as well you could also get rid of you could also do it in, there's just many decks. There's many decks that can do this. Like, I'm trying to think, but I'm rambling on about it, and I don't like to do that. But there are good reasons for it. Like, the card banishes face down. It can use it on any set special summon from the graveyard or special summon from deck, and it has multiple uses against multiple decks. So those are 4 good reasons for this card to be considered a good card. But that doesn't overshadow the bad reasons as well. Now, looking at the bad reasons, the reasons this card can be considered bad is, first of all, it's a normal trap card. And as we know where we are in the game, normal trap cards just don't cut it anymore. If you're playing a normal trap card, you're playing a potentially very slow deck, such as Paleo, such as anything really that's not meta. Like, you could be playing, I don't know, Tellarknight. You could be playing Tellarknight, you could be playing Paleo, you could be playing Altergeist. I don't know what you're playing. And because it's a normal trap card, a normal trap card, that can really make its effect not that great. Like, normal trap cards are obviously fluctuating out of the game purely because they can't be utilized as well as they used to be able to. Like, a card like this, sure, it has a good effect, but being a normal trap card, cards like Bottomless Trap Hole are also better than this. It does the same thing where it banishes, but obviously it only does 1500 or more. So, like, this Trap Hole card does have that weakness of being a normal trap card, which is a problem. But another weakness of the card is you have to wait. You literally have to wait to use it, which is a problem. Like, seeing as it's a normal Trap Hole card, you will have to wait to use the card. You will have to wait a turn. And sure, if you're going first, that's not bad. But if you're going second, that's a very bad card for you. You don't want to be going second and have this card left in your hand. Like, if you're going second and you open 4 cards and then you're like, I need to draw something good to make this hand playable, you're going to draw this trap card and you're going to be like, well, I lose the game because I drew this trap card. Like, this is a reason why normal trap cards don't really have any power anymore, purely because they can't be used right away. If you're going first, sure, the card can be very good, but going second, the card is a very big detriment to the game for you in that perspective. But that's not the only reason why this card has its downsides. Like, as I said, this card is slow. This card is a normal trap card, which are being fluctuated out of the game just so easily. Look at Bottomless, something similar to it, where it banishes cards. But it doesn't deal with everything. Like this card has major problems in it, and another problem could be looked up is that it can take up a space in your deck that could be used for something more important, such as a spell card that could be boosting your deck's power, such as a monster that you could use to make it go faster. Like, this card could take a place of something that would be a lot faster and make your deck more better, when this card is actually quite weak in comparison to the card that you're putting in. Like, there are better cards, and it's just like, sure, the card has its uses. I'm not saying it doesn't, but because of the bad facts that it's slow, it's a normal trap card that can ruin your hand. That it can just take up space of something that could be use something better to speed up your deck and make it more consistent and more better. Like, the card has its downsides, and that's not a good thing. Like, if it wasn't a normal trap card, and this card had an effect similar to Evenly Matched, where you could just use it from the hand, I could see this card being a very good card. Or if it just had the text where it was like, or extra deck, like, that would be very good as well, dealing with any extra deck card. Like, these are things that Konami don't realize when designing cards. Like, this card, sure, it has a good and powerful effect, where it's like, oh, you summon that Master Plan from the deck, it's getting banished. Oh, you use Soul Charge, all 5 are getting banished. Sure, it has that power to stop them, but the fact that it only stops 2 ways of summoning, which is another bad thing, it can only stop 2 ways of summoning. It can't stop a normal summon. It can't stop a special summon from the hand. It can't stop a pendulum summon. It can't even stop a summon from the extra deck. The card cannot interrupt with your opponent enough, which is another bad point to this card. It doesn't have enough interruption, which the card does need. But those are the bad points of the card, guys. Like, it's too slow. The card doesn't have enough interruption for your opponent by only interrupting 2 ways of summoning. The card can take up detrimental space in your deck just to be able to play something like this, and it's a really slow card. It really is. But does that outweigh the good points, where the card can be used against multiple decks, where the card is where the card can be very good going first, where the card is just like good, where the card in general is just able to banish face down and practically remove the cards from the game? Like, does the bad points outweigh the good points, or do the good points outweigh the bad points? I don't know, guys, but what do you personally think, guys? Do you think this card is good? Do you think this card is bad? On my personal opinion, I would have to say this card isn't good. It's alright, but it's not a good card. Personally, it's just too slow. It doesn't have enough disruption on your opponent's side of the board, and it just doesn't do enough for you. Like, if it just did a little more, such as if it, instead of saying summon from the graveyard or deck, it said special summon. If your opponent's special summons, banish the monsters face down. Like, if it had something like that, or just had an additional summoning method, such as maybe add Pendulum in there to disrupt, have a good bit against pendulums, or just extra deck to interrupt an extra deck summon. Like, if it had that sort of ability, the card would have a lot more power. But personally, guys, what do you think of this card? Do you think this card is good? Do you think this card is bad? Tell me what you think in the comment section below, because I love to hear your opinions and I like to discuss things with you guys. But if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to press the like button to show that you enjoyed the video. If you want to see more videos from me, or some more Yu-Gi-Oh! Fix, or Konami, or Yu-Gi-Oh! Good or bad, tell me your opinion. Just subscribe to my channel and you'll see more content such as that. If you want to be notified of my videos, press the notification button as well to be notified of future videos. And yeah, guys, as I said, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more Yu-Gi-Oh! videos. And what do you think of Network Trap Hole? Personally, not a great card. It's alright, but I feel like it could have been better. But yeah, guys, that's the video. Tell me what you personally think of this card, and I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Robert1, signing out. Thanks for watching, guys, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on this video for more Yu-Gi-Oh! videos. And check out the links in the description for the previous video, and the link to my Facebook page where you can see previous videos that I've posted there, and any other information that I may have posted there. I hope to see you guys next time, and thanks for watching.